This city in northern Italy is built entirely over the sea, and the strangest part is that it has been standing for 1,000 years on wooden foundations. How? Look at what's passing in front of our house. They built the foundations underwater 1,000 years ago after fleeing the mainland following the fall of the Roman Empire. An entire city was built over the sea with ingenious engineering that still holds strong to this day, and it has become one of the most famous cities in the world. This is Venice, the queen of the Adriatic Sea. This is the city of Venice in Italy, and the magical crown jewel of northern Italy. Before we begin, guys, after 9 years of creating content on YouTube, today I'm living the best moments of my life. Today we're presenting something of our own, the best filmmaking and editing course in the world, in Arabic, with filmmaker Mohammed Ihsan. We're in northern Italy. We're heading to a place with no roads or cars, only water canals. We had to park our car in a public lot and leave it there for 3 days until we come back. What time is it now? It's 7 a.m. and just like that, a new day begins in Venice. So, these wooden poles are used to tie up boats in the parking area. People move between stations, you know, just like a regular commute. The boat stops at various stations, and some passengers get off while others get on. There are no cars here, which is honestly pretty unique. This city is, wow, just incredible. It's 1,000 years old, and yet it's still a fully functioning city with banks and cafes all around. I ordered an espresso. Here, people drink it while standing. Don't order one and then sit down. That's just not how it's done. This is the oldest cafe in the world, and it's still operating. Look at this place. It's located right in the middle of the square. This cafe is over 300 years old. There are restaurants everywhere. You can sit here at a restaurant and eat right by the canal with a teddy bear. It also has one of the most famous theaters in the world, built over the water. This is the city's garbage boat. This is how they clean the city. Everything is transported by boats to the mainland, which is close by. Everything is moved this way. It's the city of alleys and canals. Oh my God. This is their daily life. This is how they move from one place to another, and how tourists get around too. Bridges are everywhere. The islands are connected by 176 canals and linked by more than 400 bridges. People cross them every day, either by walking or by boat. It's the city of bridges, and the most famous one is right behind me. This bridge is called Rialto, and it's the most well-known in Venice. It was built in the 16th century. The longest bridge is the Liberty Bridge. That's it. It's 3.85 kilometers long and connects the historic city to the Italian mainland. So, we rented this house overlooking the canal, and let me tell you, it was quite the experience. We rented it for €450 a night. But just take a moment to look at that view, isn't it something? You know, most Venetians leave their homes and rent them out per day to tourists through Airbnb. It's quite a trend here. Then we went to meet a young man from the city, eager to show us what life is really like here. Many young people have left Venice, and the reason is, well, it's a bit complex. But this is what daily life looks like for the locals. Let's hop on a gondola, their signature boat here in Venice. A 30-minute ride costs €90, and over there, that's a university on the water. Getting there isn't easy, but it's quite the sight. Back in the 5th century AD, during the fall of the Roman Empire and the invasion of the Hun tribes in northern Italy, many cities were utterly destroyed. People, in desperation, fled and found refuge in the marshes of Venice, settling on these tiny islands. It's fascinating how the city began, isn't it? Back then, the islands were muddy marshes, so how did they manage to build an entire city on them? How did they build Venice on muddy swampland? The ground in Venice was marshy and couldn't support any weight. Here you can see the foundations. Imagine they were laid 1,500 years ago. They brought in strong timber from Croatia and drove it deep into the ground, 5 meters down, until they reached a solid layer. This is how they built the foundations of the houses. Those wooden pillars have been embedded in the mud for centuries. Then they placed wooden planks on top to distribute the weight. They constructed the base using Istrian stone, a type of water-resistant rock. If the foundation is built properly, the structure can last for many years. And the secret lies in the fact that the wood remained submerged in water and never exposed to air. And over time, it turned almost stone-like and has supported the city for over 1,000 years. Then we met an Irish businessman who's been living in Venice for years and just couldn't leave. You know, we're standing over muddy swampland, so where does fresh drinking water come from? Well, I'll tell you. The problem in Venice is that it's surrounded by the sea, and salt water isn't drinkable. As you've seen, it's not clean. Here's where the genius of the Venetians comes in. So, what did they do? They dug reservoirs beneath the public squares and sealed them with a layer of clay to prevent salt water from seeping in. Then they filled them with sand and gravel to filter the rainwater. So the water would collect in the underground tanks, get filtered, and become drinkable. That's actually how they ended up with around 600 wells of fresh water. Today, however, drinkable water is distributed daily through a system of canals and pipelines. And as for the old wells, they've been transformed into decorative elements in the squares. There are people living here. These are homes. Venice doesn't have a centralized sewage system, and well, the canals themselves are the sewers. In the 16th century, the city dug stone tunnels beneath the streets called gattoli, which carry wastewater directly into the canals, where the tides flush them out twice a day. In the 1990s, they began installing sewage tanks beneath some buildings, but honestly, many homes still discharge directly into the water. That's why the canals still function as sewers. In summer heat or during low tide, the smell becomes noticeable. This is the civil defense. We're going to taking a taxi. This is the fire department. Beneath this floating city lies an upside-down forest of millions of wooden pillars, an invisible forest that has carried the city of Venice for more than 1,000 years. The moment has come, guys. After documenting our journey to Venice for you, it's time to tell you about the course. It's in Arabic for now, but in the future, we will provide it in more languages. This course is different. The first chapter is a cinematic documentary about the making of this video. The rest of the chapters go in detail into editing, filming, and storytelling. We included full-color grading palettes, so you can color your videos with these very same tones. We also included the largest sound library you can use in editing as sound effects. Cameras, lenses, microphones, all the equipment we use is explained in this course. We also provided lists of the gear we recommend. We built a community for you, a special community that brings us video creators together to share ideas, and there will be big surprises. Thank you for your support. The dream has come true.